I guess I'm back. But yeah, so here's a video. Oh yeah, I'm wearing Jeff Weinstock's hat that he sent me. But yeah, so 2020 is looking good for me so far, anyways. Mainly in the fireman department, I guess. But so yeah, so looks like I got a lead on taking over an old family friend's dairy farm. We haven't really gotten past more of the talking stage, and he told me a bunch of stories about when him and my grandfather first met, but we haven't really gotten any further past the talking stage. But but right now, but it is looking up good for me, considering he knows who my family is. So hopefully by springtime I'll be pulling tits again, if everything goes the way I want it to be. But if not, if I can't get that fully secured, then I'm most likely still going to be doing what I have been doing, building a farm basically through my dad's, over there to my dad's place, which I do have kind of a business plan, I guess you call it that, or farm plan, or a business plan, whatever the hell you want to call it, to kind of start like growing what my dad's doing. So I guess one of the big things I'm trying to find is either a fuel tank that you put in the back of a truck, or a skid tank, or a 55, find like a steel 55-gallon drum that a fuel company will fill up, and just have it gravity feed. But there's one problem with doing it that way, or going with a fuel tank, is because we got mostly gas tractors, which that ain't a big deal. But we got the one diesel tractor, the 160, so that's kind of a pain in the ass, having everything gas and only one diesel. And I ain't about to sell a majority of my tractors, and not going to convince my dad to sell a majority of his just so we can pick up a couple diesel tractors to even it out. But so that's probably why I'm going to go with the skid tank. And anyways, if I get it set up right, I can just put the skid tank in the back of my pickup truck, go to the local gas station, fill it up, bring it back, and pull it out and set it somewhere till we need to refill it again, so it's not riding around in the back of a pickup truck all the time. But yeah, I'm currently looking at buying a corn planter. I don't know what it is. It's an International, whether it's a 2-row or 4-row. The guy really didn't give me much information, but I'm assuming it's a 4-row, and he doesn't know much about it. But he's got to get in contact with the person he borrowed it off 8 to 10 years ago, and then that guy, it's a whole thing. But so I'm gonna have a corn planter, hopefully, and then I need to, not that I really want the corn planter, I'd much rather have a seed drill or a grain drill, but again, I'll take what I can get. And what else was I gonna say? But yeah, nothing new other than right now kind of waiting on any more information about that dairy farm, considering I talked to the guy. So hopefully that will go a little further than just talking to him. But that's kind of where that's at. And then so hopefully but I'll kind of keep giving you guys updates, even though it seems like every time I tell somebody something, it always ends up the deal falling through. But yeah, that's about it. And since they're right here, got instead of the homemade piece together straight pipe that I have on my John Deere B. I bought this fancy little one through New Paris Tractor Parts to put on the John Deere B, so I'll have an actual chrome pipe for the John Deere B. And then bought another one, the same one I bought for the D17. I also bought for my WC because they're the same. So hopefully sometime this week or the weekend or whenever I get the chance to go back over there again and have the time to do it, though, I'm gonna definitely put this one on the WC and then put this one. Then the other one probably will have to wait a little longer because I still got to get the John Deere B started. That's still having the battery connection issues where I can't use the electric starter, but I do have a way to start it. And I've just been debating whether I should show that on YouTube or not, because I know if I show the way I start it, how we'd get it started if it had a dead battery, because we've done it a few times. If I showed you guys how to do that, I know a lot of you might, freak out, especially probably Becky or Ed might, have a heart attack and wouldn't want to do that to them. But the way we get it started, it's the batteries. But some of you might be interested to see how we do that and how I get it started if we can't use the electric starter. And some of you might disagree with that, some of you might agree with that, but I'm still kind of debating right now. But right now, kind of stuff is looking up. But one of the biggest things I'm hopefully aiming towards is, obviously, if I can't get this dairy farm, which I probably will, considering he knows my family and he knows that, pretty good hard worker. So I'm definitely higher on the list than the other people he was talking to about taking it over for him. But yeah, but one of the biggest things, if I just end up still farming, kind of expanding my dad's little hobby farm, I'll probably be going to obviously getting something better than, carrying 5-gallon cans every time I want to, fuel up something, and only putting 5 gallons in at a time and having to, get 4 or 5 different 5-gallon pails plus the 5-gallon gas can and a bunch of other gas cans to go to the gas station to, have enough gas between all the tractors that we use in the summer, and start incorporating some other stuff into the farm. Like right now I'm thinking about incorporating a couple beef critters into that, which getting a text message. See you later. Oh, you bitch. No. Gonna do the splits. But which my dad actually has a pretty fun little plan that he does. So I don't know if I showed this in one of my early videos. If not, but my dad has one of those old insulage cutters, that you'd belt up to like a tractor belt, flat belt, and instead of, chopping the silage in the field and running it back to the blower and blowing it up the silo, you'd cut it in the field with a corn binder and then cut it, and then you'd take it back, a whole stalk, back to the barn yard and throw it into the insulage cutter and cut and blow it into the silo all in the same go. Well, my dad decided that he was, he's done this would be his 3rd time doing this, but usually what he'll do is, of course, where he works in paving and construction, paving roads and all, he goes by a lot of dairy farms or farms that do corn silage. So, there'll be a field full of corn out there where they chop, they just might just chop, or a couple rows, there'll be a few rows that they miss, which apparently that's a famous thing around here is, farmers will leave a whole 2 rows or whatever that they completely missed altogether. Every farmer does it around here. It's weird. I'm surprised they don't try to get those extra 2 rows. But anyways, my dad will usually go out there if they're waiting on a truck to get there with mix. He'll just go out there and, you know, pick a few ears off and let it dry over the winter and then plant it in the spring, and usually have 2 or 3 rows in a little spot in our field. And then he'll, you know, run it through that insulage cutter for kicks and giggles. And his old boss, before he sold out, you know, before the boss sold out to the big, you know, the big competition, we used to take it up because he started raising beef cows. We'd take it up there and whatnot, whatever. But that's kind of the plan. That's what my dad usually does. He just, you know, something he does to have fun, because he's got the mounted cultivators for his Alice B. So he just likes having fun, which I can't blame him. I would do the same thing. But what my hope is I can get a beef cow and then critter. And if you're picking up what I'm laying down, then yeah. But, and no, it wouldn't be like, you know, enough to, you know, so we didn't have to feed it all hay through the winter, but it'd be just enough to, you know, give it something a little extra, because, yeah. But that's the plan so far. But whether I tell you any more about the dairy farm or not in the near future, you'll know. But I'm not really telling a whole lot of people, just because it seems every time I tell people, once the gears start turning, it always seems to go to shit. And I know I'm telling like 90 some odd of you right now this, so it better not fuck up. Which is another thing. I don't normally ask for shout outs or anything, but last night I was on one of Kenny Kizzle's live streams, and I kind of just jokingly said, I'm at this many subscribers and I'd like to hit 100 before spring. And some of them actually did come over and subscribe. I think I'm at like 92 or something, 91 subscribers. But yeah, so come over. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please hit it. I would like to hit 100 subscribers before spring. Even though I need like 1,000 to actually get somewhere on here, I'd still like to hit 100, because then it would make me feel like I'm actually accomplishing something other than just sitting here, you know, shooting the shit with you guys constantly. But that's all I'm really able to do right now, because there ain't much I really want to do in the winter. Even though it's March and it's like 30 something degrees right now. And I really don't want, but we still get a shit ton of snow on the ground and still can't do anything if all the snow is gone, because, you know, mud season is right there. But yeah, so all I can say is be looking for a video of when I put this on the WC, and then maybe you'll also get a video of me dropping the chains off the WC as well. And probably, depending on the straight pipe for the John Deere, this one for the John Deere, you'll get a whole video on that of how we start it when we can't use the battery, which I can already hear people screaming at me when I do that video, if I do decide to do that video. I do hear that, but yeah. So, catch y'alls on the next one.